Welcome to Dark Days of Helsinki 2017. This time we have some Finnish curiosity, Amputory, which is, what you're gonna guess, death metal. So, we have two guys from this great band. Please tell to the camera, who are you?
I'm Henkka and I'm the vocalist.
I'm Jaakko and I'm the drummer.
So, this lineup has changed a bit since you started a few years ago. What can you tell about these new winds blowing in your camp?
Well, we started in 2009, if I'm not... Yeah, 2009. After that we had two vocalists before Henkka came into the picture 2 years ago. 2 years ago, and yeah, we made our first full-length album with another vocalist called Jarno Kokkonen, and after that we ran into some trouble, and now Henkka is here filling his shoes. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So Henkka, how do you feel being filling, these shoes and taking the show over and all that stuff? How does it feel?
Well, I know I have the big shoes.
You're a big man also.
Yeah, also, yeah. So that's for me. That's good for me. So, but well, I have big shoes to fill, and I think that well, there's still something to progress before I'm done. But I feel good. The band is great, and the show tonight, well, it was awesome.
Awesome band with an awesome cast of members, and now we have some gun buyers also. So, to put it brief, what is Amputory all about besides being death metal?
Well, sickness, darkness, the usual stuff. Death metal as it should be in our view. There's a lot of technical death metal bands, so whatever these days, we're not so much into the technical aspects of things. We're more into the, in your face and fist in the ass kind of stuff, just basic old school death metal.
Basic old school death metal right up into the ass. What makes you the inspiration to give lyrics?
Well, reality mostly. I know it's a cliche to say, but mostly it's just reality, which makes me write the lyrics about death and mutilation and all this fun stuff.
You get often to do mutilation and stuff?
No, but I often see dreams about them. And also I'm a horror fan, so that helps a lot.
So, what do you think is the essence of death metal, all in all?
The essence of death metal, I think, is basically the full-blown darkness. A full-blown darkness is basically, and of course, the brutality of it all.
This is an often asked question, but I'm going to ask it again. Ask it again. What is so tempting in darkness, horror, death, and all that grimness that surrounds in these themes and life? Why not enjoy about positive sides and nice stuff?
Well, of course, in real life, it's different, but I don't know. It's something that's just I think it springs from the childhood, straight from it. Everything you watched then, or the horror movies and all that stuff, and it just keeps running in your head, and you wanna, express yourself and express it like in therapy kind of mode. So it's a therapy, kind of, all the darkness.
And so, how is your music? How it does start? Who wants to answer?
What do you mean? Like, how did the band start?
I mean, like how the songs get composed and the riffs.
Oh, yeah. Well, Saku Manninen, our guitar player, pretty much does all the riffs. Every now and then, someone throws in an idea or two, but mostly it's his handwriting. And I don't know. We just go into the practice place and he jams out a few riffs, and we just take it from there. We don't really have a grand plan or anything like that. We just, jam out and see what comes out. And so far it has worked out pretty well.
Are you the type of band that actually rehearses together versus those bands that, send sound clips and, makes it all ready before going to the studio?
No, we don't really send any sound clips or anything like that. Basically we have a practice once a week, or at least we should have. But there's we all live pretty close by, so there's no need for file sending and stuff like that. So we can like actually meet up and make the music at the spot, so we don't have to fuck around with MP3 files and stuff like that. It's all done in the same spot and in the same space, which everyone involved in the process pretty much.
So I would say we do it the old school way. We actually meet up and listen to each other and make the songs there on the spot, like Jaakko says.
Are you also friends, not just band members, or how this all goes?
We are all friends together. Together. But yeah.
So Finland is a very small country when it comes to population, and there are lots of same people going back and forth in the different bands, despite the cities and distance between them. Do you think this is a good thing in order to find good bands and band members, or do you think it's a curse?
I don't know. I think if band members are all around the Finland, like one of my bands has members all around, so it's just different ways. Of course, it's easier when we meet up every week and we listen to each other and make the songs on the spot. It's all much easier, and also I think it's something to do with dynamics also. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. I think, well, obviously all members in this band also have other bands except for Antti, I think, but I don't think it's a problem. It's the same thing everywhere. If you look at like American bands or UK bands or Swedish bands or whatever, they tend to circulate the same members around with different projects and stuff like that. I don't think it really has anything to do with Finland per se, and it's just a thing when you're in a tight-knit underground scene, you tend to get the same people over and over again that are interested in the scene. It's not a mystery in that sense. I think it's pretty natural that it goes like that. I don't know, someone might think differently, but I think it's just, it's a dynamics. If you got I don't know how many death metal musicians there are in Finland. Let's say fucking 150 or something, and if some people tend to gravitate towards each other and find a common ground and make some kind of connection, that's okay by me. I don't see the problem with like multiple bands featuring the same members. I don't think it's a curse. It's fine.
We could say that, at least claim that death metal has had sort of a new wave of coming back. I mean, like versus the, let's say, 10, 15 years ago when all those kind of old bands were going on hiatus and black metal was pushing it. But now death metal is again making its way. Do you think this is a good or a bad way in order to, stand out from the crowd?
Well, I think it's good, especially as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of like technical death metal bands and like instrumental porn, in a way these days. But I've seen like old school death metal making a comeback, like really brutal, straight to the point kind of stuff. And I think it's a great thing because, well, obviously I'm a huge black metal fan myself, but the black metal kind of died out somewhere in like the 2000s. It's kind of watered down, and most of the good bands back then turned shit pretty much. But yeah, I think it's a good thing that the death metal is making a comeback now, and people are dropping that whole technical blah 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 aspect of it. They're just going for the throat now, and I think it's a good thing.
What about politics and all the stuff that is surrounding more and more in metal? There is, right-wing, left-wing happenings. There is these kind of political labels, boxing, religious element, irreligious elements. Where do you stand, and where do you don't want to stand in this?
Well, each to its own, I think. Each to its own. We don't have a political stand, or we don't have any saying about how the world works, and we want to say to you that you have to live a different lifestyle or some shit like that. We just enjoy playing old school death metal and making it in the vein of the old school vein, with all the horror and all the stuff that made us love death metal in the first place when we were kids.
So this brings me to the next question. And when you mentioned you also love black metal, and now it was mentioned that you want to stay away from all the political stuff, there was also this claim, and now I'm going back to like mid-90s, like no fun, no mosh, and all that stuff. How does that fit in the death metal sense? Because back then it was seen as it's all fun because it's not ideological. What do you think?
Well, I think most people tend to forget that, well, the Norwegian scene that pretty much coined the whole no fun, no mush thing, those guys were barely in their 20s when they were saying that stuff, so obviously people grow up and mature a bit, and I don't know, fuck, sometimes, you know, I don't want to have fun, I don't want to mosh, I'm not that kind of guy, you know, but if someone wants to have fun and mosh at our gigs, I don't have anything against it. Just knock yourself out.
So what kind of songs or bands or styles are you inspired these days when you make new music?
Well, I don't think we have like bands that straight up influence us that much, but well, the whole old Finnish death metal scenes with stuff like Carnivals, Demilich, Demigod, what have you, and obviously the Swedish stuff, old Entombed, Dismember, all that, and obviously the like UK bands, American bands, Autopsy, Cannibal Corpse, Death, Massacre, and Bolt Thrower, Carcass. Well, Napalm Death to a certain degree as well, although we're not grindcore by any stretch, but still, yeah, but them classics pretty much.
Now we have rock falling, so this is getting dangerous slowly. So, towards end we're going. You mentioned you are inspired a lot of horror movies and reality. Give us like your top 3 stuff, be it reality, real events, or horror movies, or whatever you suggest to people who like in your music.
Well, there's so lot of them, but Brain Dead, absolutely. Brain Dead, watch it if you haven't. It's awesome. It's old school, you know it. Old school splatter stuff from Peter Jackson, who's now coined from the all ring stuff and all that shit. But yeah, absolutely. Brain Dead. Then from the newer stuff, I love Conjuring movies. I know it's a taste thing, but I love Conjuring. And of course, well, if you want to have fun, have a few beers, Friday the 13th, all of them, all the old ones.
So as you can see, Jason is the shit. Now, last question is, if you had to name one song, just one song from your all discography, to check it out first, you know, in order to check out, can I like this band? What would it be?
I would probably say Gore, because, well, it's a slower song. Most of our songs are more up-tempo, but I would say Gore. It's kind of describes pretty well what we're all about.
Yeah, I conclude that Gore.
So this is a fully agreeable band. I have nothing else to ask except listen to the fucking band, check out their page, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, you know what to do. And now, stay fucking death metal. This is Dark Days of Helsinki 2017. We are going away to die. No laughing matter.
Okay.